What's up, everybody? It's the Bipolar Prophet, and welcome back to Old Ridge Farm and Farming Simulator 15. So if you remember from the last episode, we mowed all our meadows that we own, and we rake them up. And now it's time to bale them. Now, the grass condition, the soil condition over here on these meadows is awful, mostly due to the fact that I kind of ignored them when I did the sort of reboot of this map. They're not in great shape, so we got a little bit of grass, probably get a few bales, not a ton. I've decided that I think I have enough grass and silage bales for the dairy cows at the moment. What I'm going to do with these is I'll make them all into grass bales, and we'll bring them up to the sheep, because, it'll be more convenient to have bales up there for them instead of having to bring them up every time they need them. So we might as well go ahead and get started. Get the tractor fired up, and let's see, jump inside. Maybe we can get a little bit better lined up here. Start right about there, I guess. Turn the baler on, lower the pickup, and off we go. So we're actually picking up grass. Yep, we're doing good. Okay. Do I want to set the cruise control? Nah, I'll just use my foot, I guess. Why not? Now, hopefully, I'd like to get maybe 2 bales off this field. Again, the yield is not going to be great for the simple fact that these meadows got absolutely no attention whatsoever. I really kind of concentrated on the arable stuff, and the meadows sort of suffered for it. But we do have enough manure. I think probably what I'll do after these are all done, I'll probably slurry them, just to get some nutrients back in the ground for the winter, that I'm going to simulate more or less. So, speaking of winter, I got a lot of plans for the winter. So I had a talk about a week ago or so with the insurance company. As you guys are probably aware, you need insurance on a farm. Farm equipment is very expensive, and you want to sort of guard it against damage and fire and loss and things like that. There's a real sort of equipment theft epidemic going on in the UK right now. And the insurance company, obviously being aware of that, had mentioned to me that it would be a good idea if I installed some sort of gates on the farm. As you guys are probably aware, the farm is pretty wide open. There's no gates or anything. And regardless of the fact that, some of the gates would have to be placed, on hedges where, if somebody really wanted to get into a hedge, it's not all that difficult. But even so, it does show that I'm taking an active role in protecting my equipment, and it would lower my insurance rates a pretty good amount. I pay a lot of insurance, and anything that can lower that would definitely be, most welcome. So, one of the first things we're going to do over the winter is have gates installed. As you may have heard me mention in a previous episode, I've been wanting to install sort of a grain shed, drying shed, to get rid of the silo. A couple of reasons I want to get rid of the silo. One is it's kind of an eyesore. It kind of sticks up there into the world, and you can see it from quite a ways away. And with the sort of heritage of the area, the parish has sort of been on me a couple of times to, maybe do something about the silo. Obviously they can't tell me to tear it down, but they've suggested that it doesn't really fit with the sort of environment of the area, and I agree with them. And for a couple other reasons too. One is that it's expensive to run. It's got a dryer built into it. It's got a big blower that runs pretty much all the time. And the way that it feeds, the way that it was built, because of where they, the previous owner of this farm, the way that they installed it, it basically runs in a giant tube underneath the ground. From where the dump point is, there's a massive sort of blower that blows the grain through a giant concrete tube into the silos, and that all requires a massive amount of electricity. So, and electricity is not cheap. So if I could take that down and probably get paid a little bit of money for it too. I've already talked to some people about it, whether for scrap or whether taking it down in parts and hauling it off to, to be sold secondhand or whatever. So there's a little bit of money involved in it. Now, to build a new shed is obviously going to cost, a bunch of money, but I think in the long run, it will be, more economical for me to get a shed down somewhere and be able to pile the grain in there. I don't really store grain for very long anyway. You know, it's not economically feasible for me to sort of wait for the grain prices to come up, and you know, and for me to hold on to it for a long time. I kind of got to sell it as soon as I get it. So I'm not looking at a long-term storage, you know, facility here. It's just more of a, you know, sort of a staging area during the harvest, someplace to dump it, someplace to get it dry, and then, you know, someplace to load it up and bring it off to sell. So that's another plan that's going to be in the works for the winter. You know, get a shed built, get the silo taken down. You know, like I said, make some money for scrap maybe, or you know, maybe if I'm lucky, somebody will decide that they want to buy it, you know, for their own farm or whatever. So. But, you know, obviously harvest is fast approaching. The fields are not in great shape. I could have done a much better job with them this time around, you know. But what I want to do is, if we can get through this harvest and make a decent amount of money, you know, I'm obviously going to plant alfalfa on all of them as a cover crop, just so there's something on the fields for the winter, you know, so that they're not just bare dirt, you know, with weeds growing in them and whatnot. And again, if weeds grow in the alfalfa, I'm not concerned about that because, you know, again, that's all just fertilizer as far as I'm concerned. So, you know, then come spring, we'll spread a bunch of manure and get them all plowed in and get them ready to go again, and really take a, you know, a big swing at them soil condition wise for next season. These meadows are definitely going to need some attention. You know, they're not, as I've said a couple times now, they're not in great shape by any means. So. Oh, I missed a whole bunch there, didn't I? Oh, well. We'll come back and get it. And that would be full. So I've been trying to figure out how I want to simulate this winter. I'm thinking what I'm going to do is, probably after the harvest, and I get all the alfalfa planted, I will probably go maybe 3 or 4 episodes, I guess, of us sort of just, you know, doing maintenance-y stuff and feeding the animals and things like that. You know, call that winter, and that'll give me a chance to do all this stuff. I actually have another version of this map all set with all the stuff on it that I want. You know, the sheds and the gates and a couple other minor cosmetic changes that I made. So all I really got to do is drop it in, you know, drop it in the mod folder and be ready to go with it. So maybe 3 or 4 episodes of us, you know, kind of doing maintenance-y stuff, feeding the animals, doing things like that. We'll call that the winter, you know, and then we'll get back to actual farming. So today is Friday. You guys will probably see this on Sunday, I guess. I've been making a lot of videos lately. I had so many videos I actually had to upload 2 today because of the fact that I need to get them off my hard drive. I've been having a really good time, you know, playing and recording and whatnot, and I just, you know, sometimes I get so far ahead of myself that I'm like, oh crap, you know, I don't have any room on the hard drive for anything. So occasionally, you guys, you know, you're gonna get the twofers from me, which is cool, you know, and I certainly don't mind putting up 2 videos a day, you know, because it's not about the quantity, you know what I mean? It's about the quality. You know, in my case, quality being sort of a relative term, as you guys know. You know, I do the best I can, obviously. To me, it's more about the fun. You know, you'll go through cycles like this where it becomes a lot of fun again to play. You know, not that it's ever not fun, but there are times when it's more fun. So, and the last couple of weeks have really been, for some reason, really enjoyable. I haven't really been doing anything, you know, massively different. But I guess because I put so much time and effort into the rebuild of the map, you know, that I just wanted to play on it all the time. So, and the upshot of that is you guys have a lot of videos to watch. Again, I want to thank everybody for the comments, for, you know, all the suggestions and all the feedback and everything else. You know, it means so much to me. I say it all the time. You know, I say it every video pretty much, but I really do mean it. You know, would I make videos if nobody watched? Probably, you know, because that's just kind of how I am. But it's a lot more fun when people do, and it's a lot more fun when people enjoy, you know, what I do. So, and as long as you guys are having fun, you know, that's really all that matters to me. We got a few bales, you know, again, probably bring these all up to the sheep. I don't see any reason not to. They're going to need them. I don't necessarily need them for the dairy cattle at the moment, you know, so I have enough to make TMR for everything that's going to need it. So what I would like to do, though, is clean it up and get, you know, sort of the maximum amount off of these fields, because obviously the yield was not wonderful to begin with, so I don't really want to waste it by leaving it on the field. Gonna have to come up with a grass solution at some point. Obviously, we'll keep using these meadows. We'll keep using the dairy meadow. Probably gonna have to plant another one somewhere. You know, well, maybe depending on how big that bit on field 11 becomes. Get that unfolded. Make sure I turn the beacons on this time. Driving down the road without the beacons, I'm gonna get a ticket eventually. Yeah, that bit on field 11, the top bit, that's kind of an odd shape. I was thinking about grassing that off. I don't know how much grass that's actually going to make, you know, but again, it's another source, so might as well do it. One other thing that's changed is that I had called a couple of people to come down and sort of tear out the old farm track there that ran between the home fields. Because I wanted to, you know, a lot of people in the area have told me, hey, you know what you should do? You should pull those two fields together. You know, it'd be better in the long run for your equipment. It'd be, you know, more economical and everything else. I actually want to bring this to the cows. And I got a couple of prices, and I got a couple of quotes, and I got a couple of guys that said, you know, I can come down and do it on this day or whatever. And I really wanted to wait for the harvest to be done. But unfortunately, the guy that offered me the best price needed to come down here and do it pretty much immediately. So basically what happened was he came down here with a couple of excavators, a couple of dump trucks, about 6 guys, chainsaws and whatnot, and they cleared out the whole area, tore up that old track, got it all leveled, put about 7 or 8 tons of good dirt down in there, you know, with some sand underneath it for drainage and all that. And so now and amazingly enough, didn't really tear up the fields too much. You know, managed to avoid tearing up my fields, which was, you know, greatly appreciated. They did an awesome job. And the next time I need something dug up, I'm definitely going to call these guys. So that's all done now. So that's one of the winter projects that I wanted to get done. That's actually done now. So it's one less thing I have to worry about. Now, I believe the Flegel is at the pig and beef facility. It's funny how everything sort of gets congregated everywhere lately. You know, all this stuff is ending up down here at the dairy farm just because it makes more sense to leave it down here. You know, it's all sort of dairy farm related stuff, so it makes sense to leave it down here. There's actually very little stuff up at the main farm, except for maybe some of the arable stuff. Backing his baler up. Again, you know, short drawbar, wheels right at the back. It's a little tricky to back up, but if you take your time, it'll be okay. Where am I going to leave this? You know what? I know this isn't a great place to leave it, but I'm going to leave it right there for right now, just so we can kind of get on with the process. At some point, I'm going to have to clean this all up. And either move some of the stuff back up to the main farm or get it situated down here where it's not all in its, you know, where I can pull stuff out without having to move 18 other things. So we'll run down here, grab the Flegel, pick up the bales, maybe get them stacked up, I guess. One thing I wanted to mention, and of course you guys will probably, like I said, you guys will probably see this on Sunday, so YouTube has been acting up. I don't know what the story is. I know that they're working on, I guess, sort of separating YouTube and Google Plus, where you'll no longer need a Google Plus account to comment on YouTube videos and everything, which is great, you know, because not everybody wants a Google Plus account, you know, and it's nice to be able to comment on YouTube videos without having one. So that's something they're working on, and I don't know if it has something to do with that, but I'm not seeing any notifications for when you guys leave me comments, and I apologize for that. Now, oh, excuse me. They are still showing up in my email, which I check, you know, multiple times during the day. And there's also other ways on YouTube itself to check for notifications. So I do check. So if you guys leave me a message, you know, or a suggestion or whatever, and I don't get right back to you, I do apologize for that. But YouTube is not sending me notifications. So, you know, every time I go to Google, I don't have the little bell icon, you know, that lights up to tell me I have a new notification. So, but I do check, you know, there's a couple other ways to check your notifications, and I do try to check them as often as I can. So don't worry, I'm not ignoring you guys. Certainly not. You know, it's just that, you know, it's a little bit more of a process now to find out who's been, you know, commenting on videos than it used to be. So go figure, YouTube making things harder since, you know, 2000 and whatever. Okay, let's get this back and pick up some bills. I'm really kind of surprised this hasn't been fenced off yet. I guess it's a right-of-way. You know, if you, I was talking to Mike about the you know, Ramblers Association. Apparently, people who walk through the countryside, you know, which is cool. It's kind of like, you know, hiking in America. You know, there's a lot of people that do that. And the UK has some pretty specific right-of-way laws about, you know, places that people are allowed to walk. You know, and you're not allowed to impede their access to that in any way, you know. So apparently they probably can't put up a gate there because I believe this is a public right-of-way right here. So probably should, you know, to be honest, I've only seen a couple people walking down here, so, and it's kind of bumpy, so I don't go flying down it anyway. But so that's probably why there isn't a gate up over there, because I'm sure they would, you know, the Crawford Browns, you know, and on the council and everything, you know, since they've revoked all of our sort of public use permits for the meadows, I'm sure they would like nothing more than to did I get this thing stuck? I did. This, I don't know why I bring stuff out of this. I always get it stuck. Oh. I have caught more equipment on the corner of this bridge. Come on. There we go. You know, I'm sure they would love to put up a gate there to keep me out, but apparently they can't, so. You know, worst comes to worst, I could always mow the cow pasture. I try not to do that because, you know, the cows need to graze during the day, you know, in between milking. So, and I don't want to go to a no graze system. I don't like, I like to, you know, the cows to be able to get out, you know, and walk around and you know, do what they do. The no graze system is definitely efficient. It's probably cleaner, you know, in the long run, probably less prone to, you know, to be exposed to diseases and things, but for me, I like the freedom that it gives them to roam around a little bit. So, okay. Now I need my HUD. Let's see. Nope. I don't want ROS boxes though. I'm still on the ROS box. Toggle product type. Straw. Nope. Hay. Nope. No. These are. Yep. That's what I want. And B. Or are these grass bales? I think it actually knows the difference. Yep, grass bales. Okay. Yep, it knows the difference between hay and grass, so, which is pretty cool when you think about it. You know, this is a handy thing. I like the fact that it'll auto-load just about everything, you know. Is auto-loading cheating? Probably. But you know what? For me, and the bales are far, far better, you know, than they ever were in Farming Simulator 13. And they're a lot easier to work with. But what isn't always easier to work with are the implements, you know. I tend to use all locking script stuff, you know, just because for me it makes more sense. I just watched a video yesterday from David Oldfield. He was downloading up some big square straw bales and using the in-game bale fork, you know. And the bales themselves are great, but the dynamic script, locking script in the Giants, you know, bale implements is not wonderful because of the way bales are made. Basically, a bale is a big empty box with a texture around it. So what happens is you slide the fork into the bale, it locks on the in that sort of invisible space or that empty space in the middle of the bale, and it gets stuck there. And we all know what it's like to try to, you know, scrape a bale off a bale fork when it's stuck. You know, in real life, does that happen? Of course not, because the bales have a certain amount of friction, a certain amount of, you know, resistance to the bale fork. That's how they work. But, you know, in Farming Simulator, you don't have that. So, for me, it's just easier to use a, you know, loader, an automatic loading bale fork, or even a bale fork with a lock script that only locks in that specific area. I think I caught the trailer on the... Ah, this is not the... Really? This is not the meadow I wanted. I don't own this meadow anymore. Get off it. I always do that. If I'm driving in the cab through that village, I always end up making a wrong turn. Down into the wrong meadow. So, well, okay, since we're on this road, we'll go do this meadow first. We'll go do 8 and then come back and do 9. And the convenient thing about that is the sheep are, you know, right up the road here, so not too long of a drive. This probably won't be a super long episode. You know, not really much need for it. This is kind of what I wanted to get done today, you know. So, and it's one of my more favorite things to do as well. You know, baling and even, you know, even with this sort of bale troubles, moving bales is a lot of fun, especially with those forks, you know, and those grabs from the CZ mod team. Those things are amazing. You know, it makes moving bales a lot easier and a lot more fun, and it makes you want to do more bales. So, gonna be in trouble for straw. You know, I was thinking about calling around to see if I could get some from somewhere, you know, because I don't think I'm gonna have enough. I don't know how many bales we're gonna get off that harvest. Hopefully the yield is good. Hopefully it generates a fair amount of straw, you know, and we can get through the winter. You know, 4 days in you know, in real terms is not very long, obviously, but okay. Let's go in the right entrance this time. Don't know why I was shouting right there, but okay, we want this entrance. Oh, I'm definitely going to catch that trailer on that wall. Oh, no, just missed it. Just missed it. Very good. I'm sure the people who own those apartment buildings would not be thrilled with me, you know, tearing down their brick wall. So that would cost me some money to rebuild. Geez, are we even going to get... How many bales are on this field? 2? We didn't even get 10 bales, huh? Wow. That just shows you... You know, again, these aren't very big meadows. And, you know, it just shows you that, you know, if you don't take care of your grass, your soil, you can be in serious trouble. Wow. Not even 10 bales. 8 bales all together off of 3 meadows. Oh, well, you know, again... It is what it is. Hence why I really need to come up with some solution for grass. You know, it was awesome when I first got here, and I could, you know, just basically, you know, kind of divvy up the meadows with the surrounding farmers. You know, we would all sort of take turns cutting meadows, so we weren't cutting the same meadow over and over and over again. You know, and there was plenty of grass to go around, but you know, again, that's out of our control. So at some point, I would imagine there may be some resolution to that where we get, you know, access to certain of these meadows back, you know, which would be good. If not, well, then I'm just gonna have to plant some grass somewhere, you know, and then wait the, you know, couple years for it to come up and get right. I suppose what I could do is start baling the alfalfa. You know, as far as the game goes, that would require some pretty hefty modifications. I'd have to install some sort of windrow, alfalfa windrow to the map. I'd have to, you know, probably use multi-mowing and all that. And I'm not 100% certain how to do all that, you know. So for me to actually use alfalfa as a, you know, as a bale substrate, I don't know. Maybe, you know, I guess, again, you know, this series is, you know, we're now in episode 52. This series is just going and going and going because it's so much fun. Oh, ooh, just about missed that. This is not the best entrance to come in with this thing. I should have came in the other entrance, but those bridges really scare me. Yeah, I don't know if I'm going to be able to get this in here. Let's see if we can take a bit more of a swing without taking up the fence. Come on. Nope. Oh, go figure, right? Right at the end. Come on, BP. Show your skills. Or just drag the trail along the fence. Good thing I own that. I'll be replacing that fence post, apparently. Oh, I just realized I don't have anything up here to move these around with. Gonna have to get a tractor up here. Should have grabbed the Ford and had him follow me up here, I guess. All right, now I want to go. What side am I on now? Right? Is that the side I want to go on? I believe. We'll hit O and find out. Nope, that's not right. So, beautiful thing about that, just pick them all back up again. Okay, I want to go left. So, M. Trailer, no, left. And, oh, there we go. That'll do. That'll do very nicely. Okay. Well, since we got to go back anyway. Oh, I should have came in this way. I always forget about this entrance right here. It's nice and wide. There's no gates. It's not silly, you know. And I always forget about it. Those bales will probably last those sheep quite a while, you know, which is good. You know, and again, for sheep, you don't even really have to bale it. You know, you could just bring it, you know, up there in bulk. But I just like baling. For me, it's more fun than just cutting grass and, you know, putting it in a forage wagon. So, you know, and that's all personal opinion. Whatever you know, whatever you like is what you like. So. I was just thinking, you know, it would be really good if I could get permission to cut up at the donkey sanctuary, because they're not using all the land up there, you know. They're using about half of it, maybe not even half, actually, because apparently they, you know, they move the donkeys in and out. You know, people come and adopt them, apparently, as long as, you know, they can prove that they're going to take care of them and they're not going to use them for, you know, work or hauling logs or, you know, anything like that. Apparently they have rules against that. A lot of these donkeys and mules come from that sort of work anyway. You know, they just get too old to do it, and you certainly don't want to start, you know, abusing the animals, you know, in their old age, as it were. So, but they're not using all the grass up there. The problem is that they don't own the land. It still belongs to the council. It still belongs to the parish, you know, and so I doubt very much that the parish is going to want to give me. Are you going to drive right into that tree, BB? Yeah. What do I want to do with this thing? I know what I want to do with it, but I don't know if I'm going to be able to get it in there or not. One good thing about this is, you know, it's not a dolly, but it is still pretty long, and it's still a little unwieldy to back up. So, okay, maybe we can get it in here, I guess. Might as well keep, you know, one thing down here at least, instead of trying to pile everything into the dairy farm. So I got this big shed over here. Might as well use it. All right, that'll do. That'll do. All right, now we can just leave this here, and we will do a quick tab around here to this. What is on the front of this? Nothing. Okay, cool. So we got to go up to the dairy farm. We got to grab the. Whoops. Could you go off? Thank you. We got to grab the forks and then up to the sheep and get those bales put away. So sorry if I'm a little like all over the place today. I'm just really tired. I've been up late the last couple nights. I haven't been able to sleep. It's been really hot here again. You know, well, it is the end of August. You would expect it to be hot, you know, in the northern hemisphere, and it's been. You know, I just keep reminding myself that, you know what, hot means it's not snowing. So hot I can deal with. Hot you don't need to move. I don't need to go out and shovel hot. You know, I don't need to put sand down on hot. I don't need to, you know, bundle up with 17 layers for hot. So snow I need to do all of that stuff for. So keep the snow. I'll take the hot. That's fine. Of course, being from New England, I'm going to complain anyway. Either way, oh, it's hot. Oh, Jesus, it's hot. Or, oh, man, it's cold. You know, get really wet. But if I'm going to be completely honest and, you know, an actual grown-up and you know, be realistic, I'd much rather it be hot. Okay, please tell me I don't have to build these things again. Again, very cool. Certainly, you know, certainly a lot of fun, you know, but if you're going to do it a lot, a little unwieldy. It may almost be worth buying 2 of these things. They're not ridiculously expensive, you know, but Yes, the attachment is valid. Thank you. And shut off the tractor. Okay. I can move it, so that means it's all connected and everything. Very good. Get back in the tractor. Yeah, they're not really ridiculously expensive, so it's almost worth buying, you know, buying two if you want to, if for some reason you want to use, you know, one that grabs two and one that grabs one. So is that maybe a little wasteful? Maybe, but I will say that the work that they put in to making all that animation and doing all the scripting and everything, you know, certainly impressive, certainly a lot of fun. You know, it would be cool if there was a way to skip it, though. You know, especially if you're, I guess if you're making videos, you know, and you want to show that all the time, that's cool. But if you're just playing and you don't maybe want to have to deal with that, you know, every single time, then it would be cool to be, you know, press whatever to skip, you know. But okay, we'll take it either way, I guess. So. Again, I'm not 100% certain of the correct way of, you know, running these down the road. It doesn't seem to make much sense to lift this up and point them the other way, because that actually makes more of a sort of, you know, thing to hit than if you leave them like this. So. Yeah, we'll get these stacked up. Oh, I want to show you one other thing that I picked up. Because you know me, I love to spend money, so. Excuse me. Yeah, it'd be nice if I could get a decent price for either the, you know, because that silo is all galvanized steel, so I don't know what that's worth for scrap, you know, and I don't know what it's worth as a silo, because basically what it does is it's bolted together. There's a big sleeve on the inside of it, and then there's the shell on the outside of it, and in between the sleeve and the shell is where the blowers and the fans and the feed chute and all that sit. And there's a fair amount of, you know, of mechanical stuff involved in that. So, and it all needs to be unwired. It all needs to be taken apart and bolted and, you know, loaded up on you know, big you know, flatbed lorries and whatnot. So, oh, I said lorry. I must be turning. I'm turning British. Oh. Well, I've been over here for quite a while now, so I'm surprised that's the first time I've ever said lorry. You know, and there's a lot of equipment involved and everything, so you got to pay for all that. If I could offset some of that by selling it, you know, that would be great. So I'm going to really start having a look at that. Because the shed that I'm buying is another one of these sort of prefab buildings. It's a little bit more involved, though, because it's got to have doors. It's got to have a concrete pad laid. It's got to have gutters. It's got to have, you know, lights and everything. So. So it's going to be a little bit more involved and a little bit more costly than just putting up the, you know, the original. When I put up the two steel buildings that I put up just recently, you know, that was quick. Why did you only grab one? I want two. How do I do this? So if I do that, and then push, can I push this forward? And maybe grab two more? Now I need to back up again and get out of the... Oh, I think I disabled automatic loading again. Let's try that again. I don't know why I only grabbed one. Could you grab two? No? You're only going to grab one at a time? Oh, it's because of the way they are. Let's try something. Oh, well, you know what, though? Realistically, I do have one in here, so I might as well put this one on top of this one. Probably nowhere near it, right? Depth, no, that's not going to work either. Depth perception would be lovely. So hard to see, you know, from certain angles in this game. I guess that's going to have to do. It may not be great. We'll find out when we unlock it. Yeah, it's not awesome, but it'll do. Depth perception is definitely a thing in this game, as you guys, I'm sure, are fully aware. Okay, can we grab two now? There we go. That's better. I just had to come at them from a different angle. Obviously, this thing is designed to pick them up when they're in a stack already. So it's not really designed to pick them up when they're flat on the ground like that, but it'll do it, you know. Just gotta have a little patience with it. Those are probably too low. Gotta be still a little nervous about releasing them, you know. Don't want to release them, whoops, too low to the ground so that they try to go through the collision, you know, the ground collision, and then explode all over the place. Can I get two this way? Yes, yes I can. Very good. There's got to be a timer, obviously, built into this that tells it, you know, okay, you know, grab one bale and then, you know, wait X amount of, you know, seconds or whatever, you know, or fractions of a second before you close the arms, you know. So. All right. 3 more. You know what would be really good is if I could get this last one in the trough. That would be cool. There goes BP again with another one of his, you know, lovely crooked stacks. Oh well. Again, this is not really. I wouldn't imagine they're going to sit here for very long anyway. So, and if I really wanted to, I mean, I could probably easily fill that up, but I don't know that I want to. All right. Any chance? We'll just unload that, jump out, see if we can spread this. See if we can give it to the sheep. That would be cool. Well, apparently not. How full is this thing? I have 30 sheep. You'd think that it would take quite a bit of, whoops, quite a bit of, feeding trough, 3940. It should definitely take more than that. Am I just not on the trigger, perhaps? That could be. I could be not on the trigger. I don't know. Let's mess with this for an hour, BP. That'll be fun. I need to back up so I can grab it again. What am I doing? Have I suddenly lost my... Have I lost the, Oh. Nope, not the lights. What have I done wrong here? Because suddenly I don't have the, What just happened? Sorry, guys, I'm being all, like, weird here, but... Oh, there we go. Apparently I was just... It was... Nothing was showing up on the HUD, and apparently the forks were like, nope, you're too close to the bale, back up. Oh. Where is this tree? Can I... Maybe if I put this right... Let's try that. That's probably not going to be great, but let's try it. And we'll back away from it. Can I? No. That's weird. You'd think... I mean, I know I've put a ton of grass in these things in the past. So, okay, well, whatever. I'm not going to spend an hour and a half messing with it. If it doesn't want to work, it doesn't want to work. When it gets empty, I'll just throw another one in there. So. We'll just drop this one off here, and I think BP needs a nap. I'm all of a sudden I'm so tired. Drop that off, back away from it, and there we go. Let's see. Need a thumbnail. You know what? I like this one. I think these things are so cool. Even if they're not, you know, completely, they're a little unwieldy, you know, but they're still really neat. So, let's do that one right there, yeah? And there you go. So, again, I hope you guys enjoyed that. You know, baling and moving bales and things, you know. It's farming, you know, it's going to be repetitive. In the next episode, we should be harvesting, because I think what I'm going to do is I'll probably fast forward time, you know, one more day. And I think that's going to put the potatoes at harvest. The barley is going to take another day. So there'll probably be some more, you know, soil maintenance stuff going on there. And we'll get harvesting these potatoes. I also, I wanted to show you, actually, I forgot. I want to show you this. I bought, and I also bought some boxes. Those are potato and sugar beet boxes. Why I bought them, I don't know, because BP likes to spend money. So you can see we have the Unimog and the Flegel trailer that I'm using to haul everything with now. So these are from the mowing pack somebody went to the trouble of actually making mowers. If you remember from Farming Simulator 13, that you had the Amazon Profi Hopper, sort of little, like I call it a residential mower. It wasn't. It was a lot bigger, but you know, just like a regular lawnmower. And somebody went to the trouble of making all these, and there's a bunch of different ones. I particularly like this one. I saw these on Caravera76's channel. He did a very good mod review on them, you know. And they're cool, you know. They pick up grass, or they can just destroy it. And what I'm going to use this for is to kind of clean up the farm, clean up the around the house, you know, mow the grass and get it a little bit under control, because it's starting to look a little ugly, and I don't really like it. And these things are neat, and I thought it would be a cool, kind of a fun thing to do on an upcoming episode. So I just wanted to make sure you guys saw that. Obviously, still got to get the potato harvester back to the farm, because we're going to need that pretty soon. So anyway, guys, hope you guys enjoyed that. As always, please let me know what you think about this video, about the series, about the map, about Farming Simulator, about any other game, about me, about anything you guys want to talk about. You know, be a little patient with me while YouTube straightens its nonsense out about notifications. If I miss something, you guys comment on, I will catch it and I will reply, even if it takes me a day or so. And I do apologize for the inconvenience of that, but I have no control over that, unfortunately. You know, thank you so much for liking and commenting and subscribing. The channel is really growing. It's great. You know, the community is really coming together, and that's just warms my heart. It's so awesome. I'm so glad that, you know, that this is going well and that you guys are enjoying it, and I know I'm enjoying it. And as always, thank you so much for making me a part of your YouTube day. And this is the Bipolar Prophet saying, see you later.